This deck is classified for your eyes only. Uncorrupt here, taking a look at some top secret classified Mage. A little bit different list than what you might be seeing out there. I think it might be just a little bit better. Now we're not keeping any of this really against any class. Looks like we're up against Druid. We're looking for like Arcanologist. Anonymous Informant would be good. Contract Conjurer. And this is actually a pretty decent starting hand. We need to hit a secret here, which is pretty likely because of the number of secrets that we have in the deck. But if we can play this on 2, and then a free secret and a 6/6 on 3, that's going to be pretty strong. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this Informant down and swing face here. Still hoping that we can top deck a secret. We're going to be able to get 2 6/6s down. Once we can get them cheap enough, it's going to be really strong for us. Just have to be able to hit that secret. Next turn, if we don't draw a secret, we're going to try to discover one. Sketchy Stranger could also be a good top deck for us. Maybe we could hit a secret through that as well. And just waiting to see what our opponent's going to do here. Most likely Ramp Druid. I think that's the Druid that's gotten popular again. And if Ramp Druid is popular again, then Aggro Druid won't be far behind. We do hit the Sketchy Stranger here, so next turn we're going to be discover a secret. From another class. Galloping Savior I think is going to be good here too, the 3/4. And the question is, do we go ahead and put this in play now? And the answer to that question is no, there's no reason to. Our opponent's likely not going to be playing 3 cards anyway, but because the secret is free, you know, we could have gone ahead and played it. But if we top deck a Mage secret, we can play the Mage secret. Yeah, this is perfect. So we're going to play the Mage secret, and then we're going to play the 1-mana Paladin secret, and then we're going to put down 2 6/6s that are going to be free. And we'll also be able to Runed Orb. So let's go ahead and Runed Orb first here. And we're going to take the card draw. We're going to need to refill our hand, because our hand is going to be empty next turn. And now we get down our 2 big 6/6s. And we may have actually just won the game here. Our opponent's only on 5 mana, and one of the best plays that they could ever make would probably be a Scale of Onyxia, and even that's not going to be able to fully clear our board. If they are able to play 3 cards here, it looks like they're going to be playing 3 cards, which is going to proc Galloping Savior. And then if they have to attack into it, we're also going to get the 3/6 from Oasis Ally, which just puts more and more stats on the board. So we're in a pretty dominant spot here. This deck is so fun to play. Once you can get the secrets rolling, and especially if you can get down like a Orion and get the secrets rolling, it's just incredibly, incredibly strong. So I think we just want to go ahead and counterspell versus drawing cards here, and we probably need to trade into the Oracle. I think we could go boom, boom. But we also need to set up lethal for next turn. Counterspell shuts down a lot of the good stuff that they could potentially do next turn. So we definitely want to do that. Let's see, so if we go face here, we'll get the Oasis Ally to proc. The only question is, do we want to take the 3 damage face? They'll be at 8. I think we just get rid of the Oracle. We may not actually need to make that trade. Could probably spend a lot of time thinking about what our opponent could do with it. And here we see the counterspell. Our opponent has no mana left, and we just win the game. Deck is really, really good and really fun, at least in my opinion. Back for another game. Looks like we're up against Demon Hunter this time. We want to keep the Conjurer, and I think we're going to keep the Counterspell. The question is Slither Spear. I think I'd rather look for Informant, Arcanologist. I don't think we actually keep this card. If we just happen to have it on turn 1 in our hand, then we play it. And we hit the Informant here, so we have no turn 1 play, but then we'll be able to go Informant on 2, Counterspell 3, and 6/6 also on 3, which is pretty good. One of the things that you have to wrap your mind around when you're playing this deck is, when you play your secrets, of course the order matters, but sometimes you need to play a secret to be able to counter what your opponent's best play is going to be. But there's also going to be times where you want to play a secret that you think your opponent is not going to proc on their turn because you need it in play the following turn for yourself. So we have the counter spell available. We could just Slither Spear and Ruined Orb to remove this and trade into it. Could also just get the 6/6 down. If the 6/6 comes down, they likely have to remove it. If we get the counterspell in play now, it's possible that they just play the coin, which is not a good use of counterspell. So I think we're gonna make the play like this. Just get the threat off the board. We're just gonna take this card draw and make that trade. And again, I just want to hold the counterspell. I don't want my opponent to be able to proc it just yet, and I really don't want them to be able to proc it with the coin. Another thing to keep in mind when playing against Demon Hunters, they could potentially be playing, or most likely are playing, the new 4-drop that will allow us to draw cards until we have 5 cards in hand. So that's something that's going to be an advantage for us as well, because this deck does tend to run low on cards, not very many cards in hand, at least at certain times.
Strike now.
So here, we could actually, I think we're going to make this trade, and I think we want to get down the 2 5s here, to be honest. They still have a coin in hand to be able to block the counterspell, which isn't good for us. We could counterspell, and then this is 3, and we float a mana. I feel like the 2 5s are just going to be better for us this game, though. Unfortunately, we're not getting down our 6/6, but we're doing it for good reason. We're really having to try to think things through with this game, just because our opponent can deal so much damage with the deck that they are. You see a Lady Stheno come down. There's the counter spell. And so this ends up being pretty good for us here. We're going to have to draw cards. We don't want to just play out a 2/5. And we're going to have to make those trades most likely to get rid of the Stheno. We don't have any spells in hand to be able to discount with the Scythe and mana. But we still want to go ahead and use it. Try to get as many cards out of our hand as we possibly can here. If they play the, I believe it's Sightless Magistrix, we want to be able to draw cards as well as our opponent. Three, 4 in play. Okay, so now we have no secrets in hand. We're in a bit of an awkward spot. We could even just play out the 6/6 for 6 mana, which is not what you really want to do with this deck. If we play out the 3/5, it just dies. We would like to be able to get it down while we have secrets on the board. We could just play the 2/5 taunt and ping off the 2/1. Could even make a trade here so that this dies, attacking. I think that seems pretty reasonable. We're going to go ahead and make this attack. If our opponent plays like a Fell Barrage, then we would lose the 2/2 for no reason whatsoever. And this ends up being not terrible for us, but not great for us as well. Those trades didn't work out super good for our opponent. We just need to remove power from the board. We don't want to take too much damage here. Shooting Star with a ping is going to allow us to remove these. And we're going to pass turn, floating a lot of mana here. So again, this game looks strange. We're trying not to take damage because we know we're playing against an aggro deck. And we're just trying to hold out until we can get some really powerful turns. Unfortunately, our secrets are hiding from us this game. So when you're not drawing secrets, that's where this deck can struggle. And our opponent's going to be drawing some cards here. We're just going to go ahead and play our Dawn Grasp, I think. That's going to get us a counter spell, or... Let's see. Discover a secret from another class. Galloping Savior feels good. We'll go Galloping Savior. Get our 6/6, and then we'll take a ping here. Next turn, we could potentially just hero card, and maybe we can buff our hero power to 3. Not going to be super important in this game. Again, we're just trying to survive, and that's going to be hard to do. Our opponent's still going to be drawing more cards. And they're going to be drawing their damage cards as well, so... This game is actually going to be a real struggle for us here. To the point that we're likely just dead next turn. Unfortunately, not a good matchup into aggro Demon Hunter, but I think we've done the best that we could do with the cards that we had. Unfortunately, we just didn't hit the secrets. If we had hit things like Objection, of course, coming in a little bit late here. If we had had that earlier, or Explosive Rune, something like that to not allow the board to get into this state, it would have been a little bit better for us. And unfortunately, Runed Orb hits us in the face. And we're just going to have to remove those and hope for the best here. Both Scuttlebutt's gone. We don't have any taunt. So the only way that we could ever win this game is to kill our opponent very quickly. And it's just not going to happen with the amount of cards that they have in hand. We're expecting to die here really soon. We held on as long as we could this game. We tried to stall the game to be able to hit some secrets, to be able to get our Orion and our Contract Conjurer in play. But as you can see, when you're not drawing the secrets, this deck can tend to struggle a little bit. It's just one game. It's just a bad draw. It's not going to necessarily be indicative of what's going to happen every time. And you can see here that we actually just died. A little bit unfortunate, but Secret Mage, really fun deck. If you have the cards, I encourage you to get out and play it. Thank you for watching. I'm Uncorrupt. Good luck out on the ladder.